Simon & Schuster Audio presents What If, Volume 1. The world's foremost military historians imagine what might have been. Edited by Robert Cowley and read by John Cunningham and Janet Zarish. The What-Ifs of 1914. The World War That Should Never Have Been, by Robert Cowley. The conventional and lasting impression most of us have of World War I is the lethal stasis of the Western Front trenches. But we can now see that many questions about the kind of war it would be had been answered by the time the first trenches were dug in the fall of 1914, a time that was in fact consumed by movement and maneuver. The trenches merely ratified what the events of the first months had largely decided, pointing the century in a direction that seemed unthinkable when the year began. Those first months of the war in 1914 reveal all manner of counterfactual outcomes. What would have happened if Great Britain had stayed out of the war? Could Germany have won? And might the world have been the better for a German victory? Could the war have ended about the time Europeans originally thought it would be over, before the leaves fell? What if the United States had never been drawn in? What would our century have been like without World War I, or with a smaller and shortened version that involved only continental powers? Most important, did the war have to become a world war? Even as one century ends and another begins, we are still haunted by the traumas of those years, traumas that would forever alter the balance of world power and permanently influence the way we live. What would a world without those traumas have been like? History, to paraphrase James Joyce, is a nightmare from which we are trying to awaken. Robert Cowley, the founding editor of MHQ, the Quarterly Journal of Military History, and the editor of What If, is an authority on World War I. With Jeffrey Parker, he edited The Reader's Companion to Military History.
It was the worst of wars in the best of times. The First World War was a tragic and unnecessary conflict, says the opening sentence of John Keegan's book on the Great War, as it was known until a greater one came along.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?